What we measure, we can improve. That's how, as a coach or an English teacher, I find the best ways to help my learners succeed. Things can get tough, and improving isn't easy. The key is to assess the progress they are making, to know what they can do, so I can give feedback that will help build their confidence and keep them motivated. With Cambridge, assessment is integrated with learning, helping me measure and guide my learners' progress, so they learn what they need to succeed, to get the most from every moment, to help their worlds grow. Because Cambridge is where your world grows.
We can hear you, Sabri.
Hello again. I was so happy. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's so nice to have you here with us today. I hope you are having a great afternoon, an amazing Friday. Thank you so much for joining us on our Back to School with Cambridge online event. My name is Sabrina, and I work for Cambridge as a marketing executive for the Southern Cone and Andes region. And Raúl, can you go to the next slide? Thank you. To start, just a quick reminder that you will be receiving a follow-up email on the following days where you will find your certificate of attendance and a link to access the recording of this session. Okay. We are also going to add the recording of this session in the Back to School landing page, which you are also going to receive on the follow-up email. And we would love to hear from you, so feel free to interact with us through the chat box and Q&A box if you want to tell us where you are from right now. That would be really nice. And just for you to know, after the session, you will also get a short survey for you to tell us how it went. So we would really appreciate if you could take a few minutes to complete it. Next slide, please, Raúl. Thank you. Well, some other resources for you before we start. We have here a link and a QR code to the Back to School with Cambridge 2026 landing page. Here you will find fresh teaching ideas. You will find new and updated classroom and digital resources. You will find the recording of this session and others. And well, a lot of support for preparing your students for the Cambridge English qualifications. Next slide, please, Raúl. Thank you. And also you will have access to an online teaching community, as you can see on Instagram. You can use this QR code to follow us on Instagram, and here you will find a lot of resources, testimonials from other teachers all across the region, and links to download free resources and more. Before we start, I want to introduce today's speaker. Here we have Raúl Rodriguez. Raúl is an English teacher with over 21 years of teaching experience with teens and adults. He is certified with TEFL teaching techniques and a strong preparation in CLIL environment. He has taught subjects like arts, sociology, literature, science, language, arts, and academic writing. And currently, he's a professional learning and development consultant for Cambridge University Press and Assessment, and a teacher preparing students for Cambridge English qualifications at the Benedict School of Languages in Guayaquil. So, Raúl, thank you so much for being here with us today, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sabri. Always a pleasure, dear teachers, to be here and share knowledge with all of you about our books. As Sabrina said, my name is Raúl. I'm a professional learning and professional learning and development consultant for Cambridge University Press and Assessment. I am based in Ecuador, specifically in Guayaquil, which is in the coast of our country, and always helping teachers all around the region with trainings, book trainings in this case, and many other services. For today, we're going to have Cambridge Little Steps. Cambridge Little Steps is our book for one of our best books in terms of level and in terms of what you're looking for, in terms of new approaches and methodologies for preschool. In my country, we call it iniciales, okay? Inicial uno, inicial dos, and primero de básica, which would be in, I don't know, in all English or all language, preescolar, okay? The first 3 years previous to school, which are essential to develop not only the motor skills or the basic things that traditional teaching involves, but many other things that Cambridge Little Steps has. But sorry, let me go. Okay, here. But before we go deep into the book and its methodologies and approaches, let's warm up a little bit. Okay, so I would like you to participate in the chat. Okay, so I'm gonna pop some questions, and I would like you to answer in the chat, please, in the chat box. Okay, don't activate your microphone, just in the chat box. Okay, we're good? Amazing. Now, imagine that you are 3, 4, 5 years old. Tell me, what do you do at home at that age? In the chat. You don't need to write a whole paragraph, just isolated words, simple answers. What do we do at home? 3, 4, 5-year-old. Okay, I want to see some answers in the chat box, please. I want to see if you're there, if you're alive. Simple things. I don't know. What do we do at home? I sleep at home. I play at home. Very good. I play at home. I don't know. I eat at home. Besides playing, what else a 3, 4, 5-year-old does at home? Sleep. Yeah, of course. Sleep. Eat. Draw. Very good. Homework. I do homework. Yeah, sure. Very good. Excellent. Okay, I eat snacks. Excellent. Maybe kids nowadays, they don't watch TV, but they maybe they have some sort of technology at home that they responsibly use. Okay. Play with my siblings. Okay, that's a good one. Excellent. Very good, very good, very good. Now, next question. Next question. Next question. What clothes do we wear? Imagine that you are little, you're in preschool. What clothes do we wear? Okay, watch TV, Patricia Herrera. Yeah, very good. Now, let's go to the next question. What clothes do we wear? Type your answers. What clothes do we wear? Not now. Okay, comfortable clothes. Okay. Maybe a little bit more specific. Okay. Okay. What mom likes. Yeah. Yeah. So remember what your mom liked back in the day? Back in the day, what happened? I mean, shorts, some sneakers, maybe t-shirt, shorts and t-shirt. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Maybe a coat when it's cold. Very good. Next question. Imagine you're in a farm. What can we see on a farm? What can we see on a farm? Think about it. Little kid, you go to a farm, what do you expect? Pigs, horses, cows, very good. Horse, yeah, that's very common. We have horses everywhere. Okay, sheep, dogs, very good. Excellent. Birds, excellent. Very good, very good. And the last question. What can we do with our senses? as a little kid, not now. Remember, what did you do with your senses back in the day when you were 3, 4, 5? All 5 senses, by the way, you know? Again, okay, you can smell, taste, listen, but smell what? Taste what? Listen to what? Yeah, those are the senses. Yeah, I can see, but I don't know. Listen to birds. Okay, discover. What else do we have? Touch. Okay, touch objects. Yes, very good. Yeah, touch objects in general. Yeah, very good. Anything else? Smell my chocolate cookies. Taste new foods. See animals, people. Amazing. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. And this is an essential part of Little Steps that I'm going to show you as we move on in the book, in the presentation. Okay? It's an inquiry-based project, is inquiry-based uh, learning approach. Okay, where students, they have to discover, they have to answer questions, and they have a cycle that they start with a question in the unit, and at the end of the unit have that same question where they have to answer it again with more knowledge, of course. Okay, thank you. Very good. So the overview of the book, okay, it's for age 3 to 6. It would be the preschool years. It's for a minimum of 10, a maximum of 15 hours per week. It depends on what you buy, on what your students have. If it's the student book and workbook, I mean, 10 hours is okay. If they buy the phonics book, the numeracy book, maybe some more hours there, but it depends on what you buy. American and International English. International English is like the new thing now, because we're used to the American English or the British English. Why do they call it now International English? Because it's English that you use to describe, for example, science. If you have a subject, if you're teaching a subject like science, social studies, history, you name it, it is International English. Okay, because there are different vocabulary words that you may find, and because this book has CLIL sections and and it's literacy based, you might find words that apply for both. So that's why we call it International English, of course, with an American accent. So in the CFR, it's a pre-A1. Remember that all preschool is considered pre-A1 until before you start the primary. So you need to consolidate that pre-A1. And of course, it is part of a complete 9 to 10 level program combined with Primary Path second edition, which was yesterday's presentation with my buddy Brad. Why do I mention this? Okay, because usually what you want is to have a continuum for the whole primary, and that would be the perfect recipe. So you have your little steps and you follow through with Primary Path second edition. Now, how does this book work? How does this book prepare our young learners for a future full of opportunities? Okay, just as Primary Path, if you were in Primary Path, and if you were a user of Little Steps first edition, we have the same 3 pillars. Okay, these 3 pillars are the foundation, are the foundations for this book. First, we have an oracy program, which lays the foundation for effective and confident communication. It's not necessarily speaking, but it's about using eye contact, good posture, voice projection, when to interrupt, how to agree, how to disagree, and so on. So it's oracy. That would be the name. I don't know if there's a Spanish word for that, okay? But that would be oracy. So it's confident and proper communication. Then you have the second pillar, which is pre-literacy or early literacy. Okay, this helps learners develop the essential skills that they need to read and write when they get to primary. So it's like the first, it's like getting them into loving reading, but without reading. Okay, because they can read. Okay, I'm going to show you some examples on how this is shown in the book. And the third pillar would be creativity. Okay, this will teach the children to think imaginatively and express themselves. The creativity sections in the book are the projects where they have to answer a question, okay? Use the language and the vocabulary that they learn to create something. Would be like some sort of show and tell, okay? I'll show you, of course, each one of these parts, how how they are shown in the books. Again, if you are a user, a current user, or if you have used in the past Little Steps first edition, I'm going to give you what are the new things that we have in this second edition. Okay, so we have an updated activity book. There's an activity book. You can buy the student book and the activity book. The activity book, it's black and white. There are more with new updated content, and there are more stickers. This book has a digital home practice for students. If you're a Cambridge user, you already know our platform, Cambridge One. Okay, Cambridge One traditionally only comes with platform work or platform activities for primary, secondary, and adults. Now, this book comes with activities that you can assign to your students. Okay, so that they can do that. They can do them at home. I don't know if you're using tablets in the classroom or in a lab. You have your Presentation Plus, which is the digital book that we all know, the interactive digital book with rewards, activities, and the stories and audios, videos, many more. There's more opportunities for literacy practice. Okay, for that part where you have the reading sections, there are more opportunities for them to get into the story and to develop learning and sorry, develop skills and learning. You have an improved phonics strand. The phonics is embedded in the vocabulary sections. I'm going to show you in a minute how you can see it. There's more support for oracy teaching. Okay, in the past, we only had a standalone lesson for oracy, but now there are more opportunities for students to develop oracy. There are videos to support cross-curricular lessons. The cross-curricular lessons, or AKA CLIL sections, okay? So those CLIL sections are for cross-curricular, the ones that are related to subjects. Okay, those ones, of course, you can have a video, right? And there's a language chant videos that help your students practice the target language in a fun and engaging way. So this is what we have in this amazing book, okay? And we're gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down for you. And at the end, I'll show you a little bit on how the digital book behaves and where you can see all these parts, okay? So the the activity book has, of course, redesigned activities in comparison to the first edition, but you have activities that are updated, okay? Because the first edition appeared 4 or 5 years ago. So now, of course, if it is a concern for you, if it is a concern, okay, so how old is this book? I know it's amazing, but how old is it? Okay, so it's 2025, end of 2025, early 2026, okay? So you have redesign activities, all updated, new phonics practice pages, and stickers that also you can use them in the activity book. There's an improved phonics strand. That means that every time that you get to a vocabulary section, you're gonna have the sound, okay? So if in Unit 4 you have the word cat, you're gonna have the sound k. If you have the word tree, you're gonna have the sound t. Okay? So then you make that perfect connection of the vocabulary, and at the same time you practice your phonics. Okay, always remember that when you do phonics, you don't do vocabulary. You do the word recall, or like they need to recognize the word in the alphabet. Okay, and then of course you only push the sound. Okay, so k, cat, t, tree. And in the teacher's book, as you can see on your left, on my left, I think is your right, it says lesson 3 story. There's the phonics and the vocabulary that you gotta do. Okay. You have digital packs. The digital pack for the teacher that comes with routine boards, rewards, digital versions of every book that you can possibly see. Everything is already there for you to project and to show it in an interactive way. Plus, The students, they also have a code where there's a digital pack where they can easily access some activities and learn across all, learn everything from the unit with all devices, from a cell phone, from a tablet, from a laptop, or from a desktop computer. I'll show you that later on as well. The book has a strong emphasis on literacy. So there you have the literacy practice. Don't get confused. Don't believe that this is literature or not. This is early literacy. That means that your students they listen to a story that, you can play the audio or that you can read it for them. Okay. They watch a video about this story and they answer simple questions where they have to what? They have to match, they have to circle, they have to color. And here, of course, with that, they practice their motor skills and writing. Okay. There are some new writing practice worksheets that you can download, and of course, you can work out the tracing. Okay. And I'm going to show you how this is in the book as well. There are new games on the Presentation Plus for you to do them in class and also in the students' digital pack. And there are chants that introduce and practice the new language. Remember that at this age, what students learn is the chunk of language. We don't teach grammar. We don't teach them the simple present. No. They learn the phrase. Okay. I like to listen to stories. You don't teach them, I like, you like, he likes, she doesn't like. No. There's no need for that. And there are chants, okay? There are chants in the in the book that introduce and practice this, will help you introduce and practice this new language. Okay, let me get some water. Okay. Here in Guayaquil now where it's super hot. So I am with the AC at 18. So that's why my throat gets super dry. But it's better that than sweating. Okay, so here we go. And let me give you an example of a chant and how this introduces the language. Okay.
Can turtles fly?
Okay. As you can see, can turtles fly? That is the dynamic of the whole book. At the beginning of every single lesson, you're going to have a question. Okay. So you ask the students, can turtles fly? They're going to say yes, no. Here, there's no right or wrong answer. A student might say something like, yeah, maybe tal vez una tortuga en un avión vuela. Yeah, it's okay. Doesn't matter. You might get a lot of L1 interference here. Doesn't matter. Okay, it's about activating them.
Look, it's a turtle. Can turtles fly? Can turtles fly?
No, they can't. Turtles can't fly.
Look, it's a rabbit. Can rabbits jump?
Can rabbits jump? So the grammar there, of course, is can or can't. Yes, it can. No, it can't. So again, we don't teach the grammar. We use a fun and engaging context, okay, we use a fun and engaging context for them to practice, okay, for them to listen to it, okay, good. Okay, let me go to, oh my God, where am I? Okay, good. Now, there are some Oracy improvements. The first edition had a standalone Oracy lesson. Now here you have Oracy signposted in many parts of the unit. I'm going to show you that. Okay. So here again, they give you recommendations in the teacher's book. I always tell teachers, your best friend, your best buddy is your teacher's book. Okay. Yeah. Some experienced teachers that have taught for 5, 6, 7 years or plus, you do have a lot of things that you do on your own that, okay, how am I going to start this unit? Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Yes, perfect. But if you want to, if you want to have more options of activities, always go to your teacher's book, okay? Even in the teacher's book, they give you suggestions. Like, for instance, have a children describe in L1 what they heard. So the teacher's book, the experts are suggesting you that maybe if it's hard for your student at this age to describe something in English, yeah, it's okay. They can use some Spanish. Okay, in this case, because we're in Latin America, doesn't matter. Okay, it might sound no, I'm not gonna do it, but it's a suggestion for the book. So always have, have a good mix of your experience, your knowledge, and of course, the experts' opinions from our teachers' books as well. Okay? Here, your students, here the oracy approach focuses on different oracy skills at each level. Okay? You have listening, speaking, and there's of course a presentation, the benefits, life skills, educational goals, and well-being. The cross-curricular videos. Okay, these ones over here are when you get to of course, the cross-curricular part, and they encourage students to understand and deal deeper with social studies, science, art, and math. Okay, it's easier for a student to understand these cross-curricular sections with a video. We all know that students are more visual. Okay, and again, everything starts with a question. Is it a pet? Okay, so here they're going to see different animals and they have to answer the question,
pet?
Is it a pet? Okay?
Look at the animals. What can you see?
Okay.
Look at the hamster.
Let me put so with this, your students will have a better understanding of the cross-curricular sections. Yeah. Yes, they have the picture. Yes, they have the teacher explaining, mimicking. But with this, they're gonna have it's way better for them to understand. That's why we added them for this new edition. Okay. Now, most teachers, especially preschool teachers who are super resourceful, they get pictures, flashcards, maybe a video from YouTube. But you don't need that anymore because the video is already included in the book. Okay. Now, Cambridge Little Step Second Edition brings you the big questions that I showed you what we did at the beginning when we were warming up. Okay. Every single lesson and every single unit starts with a big question. And as you progress in the unit, your students answer that big question. Okay. There are fun and creative projects that are creativity boosts for them. And of course, all the beautifully illustrated stories and videos that you can find. Now, let me give you a tour. This is how you start a unit. So there's the big question. I don't know if here we have teachers that work in schools that have international baccalaureate programs or IB programs. So this is the perfect book for you. The perfect book for you. Here in my country, Ecuador, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of schools that are IB. There's actually an association of IB schools here. And yes, they use Cambridge, but they adore this book because it's like the first steps, little steps for them to start with the primary years program, the middle years program, and then they go to the baccalaureate program. Okay, so they know that their student in 10, 12, 13 years, there's no surprise for them when they get to the diploma because now they're used to this inquiry-based learning, answering questions, digging deeper, okay? And that's the main objective of this book. You don't necessarily have to be an IB school, to use this book, but if you want to you want to go beyond, okay, and you want to think outside the box and make your students dig deeper and actually develop critical thinking, this is the book. Okay, so you have a big question at the beginning of every unit. What can we see at school? What can you see at school? Yes, and they start answering, oh, I can see the teacher, the book, la jaula, las bancas, the whiteboard, you name it. Okay, then you start, of course, the lesson. that you explore with them, you build their knowledge, and then that same question is at the end of the unit, and they're going to have more tools to answer it. Okay? In the project section, you see, this is at the end of the unit. What do we do at school? Okay? It's a similar question, and then, of course, that big question encourages students to create their project. So what do we do at school? Okay. Oh, I like to paint. Amazing. Okay. So draw yourself painting and present. Okay. Here you have all the stories. The stories, because the book it's literacy based, you have a story. Okay, where you have the pictures that shows of course the characters and how the story goes. You have the audios, but you also have, let me show you. You have the animated version of the story. This will make it easier for your students to understand.
The Coconut Band.
Okay? The story has a topic, but it also has a question when you go to the book, and I'll show you.
Mike is a happy gorilla. He can do many things.
This is a story. You have it in the digital big book, in the physical big book. Preschool teachers, it's always it is always a good technique to gather them around you, and you show them the big book and you read the story for them and they look at the picture. Okay, that traditional way is awesome, but now because we have technology, you can also, besides doing that, you can show them the video of the story. Okay, that you have it.
Hand
I mean, if you have it in every story. So all the stories have this.
and
Okay?
feet.
Good. Now, what are the components? After the components, I'm gonna go to the book. I'll show you like the key parts, of everything that I already mentioned you, so that you can see it in the digital book. What are the components? First, the student's book comes with a digital pack. The student's book is the one with the code that they scratch and that they can work all the activities in Cambridge One. The workbook doesn't come with a code. Okay, so just in case you're a school that your students only buy the student book, there's the code. If you only buy the workbook, there's no code. There's no code for accessing Cambridge One. The teacher's book comes with a code with a digital pack where you can download the presentation plus, all the resources, the testing, the photocopiables, you name it. There's the activity book. So that will be the pack, student book and activity book. If you want to teach 14, 15 hours, the advisable thing to do is to use the phonics book, numeracy book. Okay? There's the big book for the stories. There's a puppet. There are physical flashcards and digital flashcards. And of course, the classroom activity posters. Okay, so here's your student's book with digital pack, 9 units. Each has 14 lessons. Okay, here's your digital pack. Here's the in the digital pack you have extra activity ideas, routines, the guidance on supporting pre-primary learners, and making the most out of the puppet. Extra activities, you name it. I always, again, and I will never get tired of this, your best assistant, okay, is your teacher's book. Here's an example of the activity book. Okay, the activity book, at the bottom of each page of the activity book, here they tell you what to do. It's like your mini plan. So follow that, and there's nothing, and you're gonna be good. If you're using the phonics book, the same. At the bottom of every single page is like the mini lesson plan. They tell you practice the sounds, then trace it, make them, they give you some activities, then you say it, and so on. Numeracy book, the same. If you want to make extra emphasis on numbers, same thing. And at the bottom of each page, you have like the mini lesson plan, how you have to do that specific page. And the big book is where you have the stories. Physical big book, And then you also have the digital big book. And of course, more for your classroom. You're going to have Tickles the Puppet, all the activity posters, flashcards, and stickers. Now, this is an example of our digital book, okay? Here you have the big question. That's how you start your class, right? That's your warmer, just the same way we did today in the very beginning. And there's a video. There's a video with no, it's not no sound. It does have sound with no dialogue. Sorry. Okay, let me show you. So they pose the big question, and this video has no dialogue because the purpose of this video is to activate your students. Okay, so while they watch, they're gonna say blue, red, color, marcador, marker, you name it. Okay, so with this video, you activate them. So the purpose of not having an audio is for that. Okay, and then of course, yes, I mean, I'm not gonna go deep into this because the purpose of this session is for you to understand the methodology and the approach mostly, and the 3 pillars. But yes, you have the audios included. Remember, it's always here. Okay, you have a song. Okay, an introductory song.
This is my school.
Me, it's lots of
And you have the same song in karaoke version. Okay? So once you get your
This is
codes,
my
once you get this activated, of course, I mean, here in my country we say monear, like fool around in English. So yes, of course, I mean that's something very, very teachery, like they give us something and we just, so that's what you have to do, of course, yeah. Because I'm not gonna stay here forever. Okay, but yes, you
My
have everything
school.
here. Okay? Everything is signposted for you. Okay, this is the karaoke version. Another feature that this book has, which is amazing, is this turtle. This makes, if you think it's too fast, you click the turtle and it goes slower. Okay? Good. Now, this is how you start the unit. Then you have the story. And if you go to the very top, you'll see a question here. What is the story about? So depending on the level of the kids and depending on what you want to do, you can, okay, look at the picture. What do you think is happening? What's the story about? Okay, it's a girl. She's sick. There's a doctor. Okay, now let's listen and let's watch. So here it goes your experience. Now you can play the audio, use the big book. Okay, play the video of the story. Up to you. Okay, so you have
My favorite.
the story in an animated version. You have the story in the book. You have the big book, physical big book, and you have the digital big book if you want to use it. Here's the big book, digital big book. There you go. It's as you had. It's just as you have the physical one. Okay, this is just digital. And that's it. Okay, it's right here at the bottom. Good. Oh, sorry. I think I moved to unit 2, but let me go back to unit 1. Okay, so you have the story, big question on top. Another big question. How does the story answer a big question? And here you have, okay, some vocabulary that you listen, they say, the circle, and here they give you see the phonics. It's highlighted. The p, the sh, the the s, the t. Okay? As I told you, it's embedded there. Why is this called literacy? Because this is like the reading comprehension. And again, there's another question on top. What does Betty like to do at school? If students listen to the story, if they watch the video, they will understand and they will say, oh, mister, Betty likes to color, to draw. Let's see. This is the answer key. Yes, she likes to color. Okay? This is the one she likes. Check. Okay? Remember that this would be reading comprehension for them. They don't write, okay? They answer a question based on what they see. They say it and they color it or trace it. Okay? Then you have the value section connected to the story. In this case, why? Another question. Why is it important to clean up our classroom? So what do? Here you start with this and it says, why is it important to clean up our classroom? That's how you start the lesson, with the question. That's how you start every day with this book. Okay? And of course, here you have the drawing, talk. In this case, they draw, as you can see. This is also development of motor skills development. Vocabulary sections. Again, another question. What school objects can we see in our classroom? Before they do this, they answer a question. They say what they know. You activate schemata and activate previous knowledge. And of course, then you color, listen, say, you know, the drill. Okay. Then you have the language section. Okay. At the bottom, they tell you, I draw with a pencil. I glue with a glue stick. I write or I draw with a pencil. I cut with scissors. Here's where you start developing the language, okay? And using that chunk of language for them to answer, okay? Here's the concepts. They need to express preferences in this case. What's your favorite color? Verde, no. Green, my favorite color is green. And then, of course, what do? They do this. Every time you see this arrow over here is an interactive activity. So you turn that activity into interactive. They do the activity on their books, and then you do it like, okay, Juanito, number 1. Okay, green, very good.
Green.
What color is this? Oh, it's orange, so it's this one. Very good, orange. And then you complete it with them.
Orange.
Once everything is
Purple.
completed,
Yellow. Blue.
the class
Red.
Good job.
wins a medal, a gold medal, the class. Okay, and where do you see this medals? On top. Here you have, okay, class, amazing, very good, congratulations. We have won a gold medal. And every time you finish these activities here with the arrow, we'll grant gold medals to your students. Okay, what did you do at school? Here comes again the chunk of language. Listen to stories, play with friends, clean up, eat lunch, sing songs. Okay, so this is a different kind of vocabulary. It's not just isolated words, but you also get phrases. Okay, the language. So what do you like to do at school? I like to clean up. I like to dance. I like to sing. That's how they answer. You see, I'm not teaching them. I like, you like, he likes, she likes, and so on. Okay, this is the speaking oracy sections, okay, where the students, here in this case, may I get some paper, please? May I go to the bathroom, please? So here they have to use tone of voice, when to ask for permission to go to the bathroom. So this is connected to oracy. Then you have the cross-curricular. Remember that I showed you the video. Every cross-curricular section comes with a video. Okay, it's right here. It's in the play bottom.
What are the primary colors?
And also with a question. What are the primary colors?
What do you like to do at school?
And the question, what do you like to do at school? Okay, so everything evolves around a question. We continue. There's a numeracy section. Remember that you can buy separately numeracy and phonics if you want, but you still have phonics in the vocabulary and the numeracy standalone lesson. And the project. If you see the project, look what you have. What do you like to do at school? It's the same big question. So now my student has already built the proper knowledge to answer this question better than at the beginning of the unit. So now they know, oh, in the unit I saw Betty coloring. Oh, I like coloring too. So that's what I like. So I draw myself coloring, I draw the teacher, my friends coloring, and I draw myself there, and then I present it. So Juan, what do you like to do at school? I like to color, or I like coloring, or dancing. I like to dance, and that's it. Simple as that. And that's how they learn. Of course, we're not expecting our students to to recite or to say a paragraph. Here is it's about understanding. Okay, they understand the question and they are closing an inquiry cycle. Okay, a question that was posed in the beginning and that now you have the tools to answer it. And that would be the inquiry-based learning process that is in little steps. Don't forget that you have your Cambridge One. Here's your Presentation Plus, the digital book that I already showed you, which is right here. You have your student's book, your teacher's book, your activity book. You can project activity book as well. There's the big book where you can show the stories. You also have it in physical, your flashcards. If you have their phonics book, you can project the phonics book as well. You can project the numeracy book as well. There's a routine board. Okay, there's a routine board that you can do, of course, every day. You have your good morning
Good
song.
morning, my friends. Today's a new day.
Okay, then you review the days of the week. Okay, today is Friday. Very good. Yesterday was Thursday, but that's the day of the week. You review it with them. If you have a song, that's okay. Then you have the happy birthday song. If it's Sabrina's birthday, Sabrina is 4 years old, and
Happy
you
birthday.
can sing happy birthday to them. Okay, to her in this case. Okay, then you start asking, how do you feel? And they're gonna tell you, Miss, I'm sad. That's okay. You can feel sad. Okay. Feel angry, sick, hungry. Okay, I'm actually hungry, by the way. Okay. Weather, use the surroundings. Okay, look outside the window. What's the weather like? Okay, here in my country, now,
Hot.
hot, and it's
Sunny.
sunny. Okay, I don't know in your country, but this is how Ecuador is right now, at least the coast. Okay. And seasons, review the season. What season are we now? It's okay. You can have a review of colors. You can make the connection. For instance, we had the unit with the things from school. Okay, so blue marker, yellow pencil, red box, black chair, white board. Okay, so this color section is for you to connect it to the sections. The same with the shapes. Okay, if you're doing food, for instance, pizza could be like a circle, pizza could be like a triangle. So it's about making that connection with the vocabulary of the unit that you are currently doing. And you have a letters and sounds. If you wanna review the sound from the previous unit, you can do it right here. Okay?
L
Okay?
O
That's the letter L, and that's the sound L. Okay? So they give you everything. The letter recognition and the sound. Also with the vowels and consonants. This is for you to start your class so that you can review as well. Okay? And you can do all this with the routine board. Sometimes teachers review a lot of these parts, like the alphabet, the sounds, and the numbers, so you can review the numbers as well. And make a connection, maybe. For example, if you have things from school, you can make, I don't know, 10 pencils, 20 pencils. But you have them here in your routine board. Okay? Of course, here you have all these numbers up until 50 because this is book number 2. Okay, book number 2 is up until number 50. Okay, and then you have a goodbye song at the end of the class. Okay, everyone, let's say goodbye. You play the goodbye song.
Clean up.
Okay, so remember, here's your routine board, and there's a game section. Then of course you can go there. You can project this. These games are the same games your students have the same format of the games that they have in the platform. Okay, so I invite you to check these games. Super easy, and that would be my presentation. And I hope this was useful. I hope, wait, before I forget, don't forget that the best friend for this book is Cambridge Primary Path. This is the continuum. This is what you use in primary. Okay. So remember Cambridge Little Steps Second Edition will give your students a future full of opportunities, inquiry-based, oracy. You have the first steps for literacy, early literacy, and a big question always at the beginning of the unit and at the beginning of every lesson. And creativity boosts in every project. So on my behalf, thank you very much. My name is Raul, and I'm here to help always. And have a good weekend. Yeah, have a good weekend. I don't know,
Thank
Sabri, if there's a question or something.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for delivering this amazing session. I don't know if anyone has any questions. If not, thank you so much for being here with us today. Have a great rest of the day and have an amazing weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.